We're on, so that's brilliant. So hi everyone, my name's Charlotte and I'm the volunteer coordinator at Healthwatch Bury, and today we've got a very productive live for us to celebrate anti-hate crime week, I think it is it? So we're going to be doing a session around anti-hate crime awareness. Just wanted to go through a couple, excuse me, of the live stream guidelines. So we want to be accepting. Everyone is welcome, regardless of race, ethnicity, national origin, religious affiliation, sexual orientation, sex, gender identity, or ability. So we want to be as inclusive as possible. We want to respect each other's boundaries as well. So we don't want to make advances or comments on appearance that might make someone feel uncomfortable. We need to be mindful of the language we're using. We don't want to be rude, intentionally provoke, threaten, or insult anyone. We don't want to flood the chat. We need to keep the conversation going, but we don't want to repeatedly send the same messages or the same comments because they can get lost in the chat. And we're not here to self-promote, so we want to keep focused on the topic of the stream and be respectful to the topic of the stream, please. We want to keep it clean, so if it's shocking, obscene, vulgar, or inflammatory language, we want to leave it out. But luckily, we do not have that problem often. So a session overview today, we're going to have the introduction with me, and then we have Kelly, who's going to be coming talking to us about the Mero World Foundation and what it is that they're doing with regards to the bleed boxes and putting them in the Greater Manchester area. Then we're going to have a quick what to do and first aid info should you find yourself, unfortunately, in one of these situations. And then our lovely Steph is going to take over and ask some questions for us. So who are we? Healthwatch is your local health and social care champion. We make sure NHS leaders and other decision makers hear your voice and use your feedback to improve care. We listen to your experiences of using health and social care services, and we share them with those with the power to make change happen. And we can also provide you with information and advice. So we do that by signposting to local or online support groups. We can give you information and advice about your family members' healthcare, and we can listen to your experiences of using health and care services within the Bury area and hopefully feed that back, find you a resolution. So if you do need to get in touch with us, these are our contact details. And on that note, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and give over to our lovely Kelly. Thank you very much.
Hi. Hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Right. So Kelly's just going to go through with us now what it is that the work that you've been doing, if that's all right, Kelly.
Okay. So since losing my son September 21 to knife crime, we are now a registered charity, Mero World Foundation. We install bleed boxes all over Manchester. We installed the first one February 2022, and since then we've got 17 in Manchester and 6 now in Bury, and there's also 8 packs in shops, which is amazing. Moving on from obviously the cabinets, we raise awareness around schools, crews, any opportunities we can get into, we will go to with our workshops to raise awareness.
Beautiful. Sorry, I'll just unmute.
Oh, sorry, it's okay.
No, so just want to give a bit of a background there, Kelly. So your son was unfortunately a victim of knife crime, which was what's inspired these bleed boxes. So these bleed boxes are here if we experience or see somebody that's maybe been stabbed or is suffering from a knife wound injury. So what is it that the bleed boxes include in them, if that's all right?
So all it takes is if you're around an incident and it's happened, you go to the nearest bleed cabinet. You will then dial 999. They will give you a unique code. Inside the unit, once you've opened the box, there's a body map inside, and it's so simple to use. You don't need to be first aid trained. You just follow the color-coded body map, and inside the packs are tourniquets, special bandages to pack the wound and then wrap it and then hold pressure on that wound until the ambulance service gets there, because it's so important to pack and stem the wound to keep the blood flowing inside the body and start, because what the blood does, once you've packed the wound, it will start clotting inside your body again, and then it will flow, keep a good flow around your body rather than pouring out. Like my son's incident, he got stabbed in the legs and he bled to death from the legs because it hit the main artery. So if these packs was available for when my son was there, then there would have been a possibility that he would be here today.
Oh wow, so they really are very, very important. So they work similar to a defib box would do, where you put the code in and it has to come from the ambulance service.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would be your go-to? So I guess what I'm thinking is, so say I'm ringing the ambulance and there's a bleed box, but the bleed box is just a little bit away. What would you do with that person in front of you instantly before you go and get the bleed box? Or would this be something the ambulance service would walk through with you? I'm just trying to figure out, because we'd panic, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would panic, but like you got to try and obviously compose yourself. What I would do is, if you've got a scarf, if you've got a jumper, anything, take it off, wrap it around that stab wound, pull it as tight as you can, and apply so much pressure on that wound. And then hopefully about another passerby, then tell them to run to the box.
Right, okay, so it's really about utilizing.
It's really important just to like stem the bleed. So take your jumper off, I don't know, you could take your socks off, anything to wrap around that wound and just apply the pressure so quick. It's applying the pressure what's the key.
Absolutely, because trying to stay centered obviously in that sort of a situation, it'd be hard to make that decision. Do I go for the box? Do I try and treat the wound? But I think it's important to be mindful that the ambulance service as well will walk you through it. There should be somebody on the other side should that happen. So what are the plans for bleed boxes moving forward then? Because obviously you've made quite a significant impact there, Kelly. That's a lot of boxes that have been placed. So is it just a case of I want more, or?
Yeah, I want them all over Manchester. Like, I want them as far wide as possible. They're needed, like they're more than needed. Knife crime's not going away. It's turning into a pandemic. It's just horrendous.
It is, and even with the raised awareness around knife crime, and it's a lot to do with youths as well, unfortunately, where you know that can be very complicated why young people are carrying knives at the moment, but it's not because they want to be scary, is it? You know, so I think it's being mindful of your environment and your situation as well, maybe, and where you are. Though obviously it's never okay to have somebody holding a knife, really. So right, well, I feel like a lot more prepared if I was to see somebody in that sort of a situation. I didn't realise you've got so many put around. That's really significant, because we did do a live with you a few months ago, and it was all just getting planned. So you've really kicked that into high gear. That's very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, we've actually got another 2 waiting for locations as well. So it's just like a conveyor belt now. They're just going out. They're getting out there.
Absolutely, the value of them is being recognised, and the unfortunate need for them as well. Like ideally we wouldn't need these bleed boxes, but unfortunately the reality of the situation is they could save lives at this point, and that's paramount.
And it's not only just for stab victims, it could be a car crash and they're bleeding heavily there, so it could save a life there too.
Absolutely.
So they are important,
And the more awareness that you raise, the more people will feel prepared in order to deal with that, because your instant reaction would be to shock and panic. But if you remember that you need to put pressure on this, that, you know, that's the key thing. I think it's just very important. I'll let Steph ask you some questions now then, lovely, and I will shut my face for a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
So, hi Kelly, and thank you for that, sharing your experiences with us today about the bleed boxes. I just have a few questions, if that's all right.
That's fine,
You set up more Mero's World in like, obviously I read the newspaper article, but I'm very sensitive before in preparation of this live session. So what support did you get in order to set up this charity with like local councillors and other community groups of people within the community?
I have had a lot of support from councillors and MPs. Afzal Khan's been amazing support. Jade Dorsal, Kate Green. There's been a really good support network. Even the Lord Mayor of Manchester, Donna, she has been really supportive. So it's really nice to have so many like important people backing us and pushing for all these cabinets to be out there on our streets of Manchester.
And thank you. And how can bleed boxes be installed? Are they easy to be installed? So I presume they're free, so there's no cost to anyone. But how are they installed?
They're so easy to be installed. All it takes is just 4 holes in one wall, and that is it. Just four holes.
And obviously talked about crime as a whole, but is there any like members of society, you know, that are more at risk of being victims of crime?
I don't think anyone's like more at risk. Probably if you're in the gang life or around that, but these days it's coming like Ava White's incident. She was just celebrating the lights in the Christmas tree in Liverpool and got stabbed. Like, anyone's at risk these days of just being stabbed. You could just be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it can just happen.
And obviously going on to that, with the Ava White situation, obviously she was just out and about enjoying the Christmas lights switch on in Liverpool. But like, do we know like what encourages, you know, people to carry knives and, you know, to stab somebody?
I think carrying a knife these days is becoming a norm to our youth, to the children, and we need to change the mindset from that with them. They could be carrying it for protection. They could be carrying it because they're scared, because it's so normal these days to carry this knife. And like I just said, we just need to change the mindset of these kids and just let them know carrying a knife's not good. Like, give them other opportunities to change that mindset and give them a focus. They need different focuses. They need support. They need guidance. That's why also I'd like to share Mero's World. We've opened a youth club, and we run the youth club every Friday, and that's to keep the kids in Fallowfield off the streets and give them somewhere safe to go.
Yeah, and obviously when you were talking with Charlotte just before, you mentioned that you want to go into like more schools to educate the young people about the dangers of knife crime and stuff. So you want to continue that thread on?
Yeah, so the stats for Bury so far, we've delivered workshops to 1,230 children and 78 adults so far in Bury. And I've also been raising awareness in Manchester as well, going into primary schools and youth centres and everything. Any opportunity what will open the doors for me to go in and share my story and raise awareness, I'm more than happy to do that.
And obviously like,
I think we might have lost her.
Yeah, it broke up.
Oh. All right, well, I'm just going to waffle a little bit because a couple of things came up there, Kelly. So this youth club, actually, I didn't know about this youth club, so that's amazing. So what sort of activities, what age groups is it? Is it focused on like therapeutic work around knife crime, like you were saying?
because we've just started, well, we've been running for a couple of months now. It's open to anyone. I just open my doors to anyone who wants to come in. We start at 5:30 till 8 every Friday. It's just games in there, just somewhere they can just be themselves, be kids. And it's a beautiful thing to see them just smiling and happy and just having a safe place to go to. We are now, I think it's tonight. Tonight we've got someone in to do boxing with them because they filled out a questionnaire just before Christmas, and I said, right, what do you want from the youth club? And they said boxing. So I was like, right, okay. So we're having boxing guys coming in, mentoring guys. One message is going to come down and work with our children as well. So yeah, lots of exciting things ahead for our youth club.
Oh, I like that. So I've worked with young offenders of knife crime in the past, and I found that boxing's a really good thing because, as you say, it's a lot of fear-based behavior while they're carrying these knives. They're scared. So when they learn how to punch, for some reason, it makes them feel safer in themselves. Hopefully they'll never need it, but it's self-defense, and it's another way of sort of tackling that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think our Steph's back now.
Sorry. So one more question I wanted to ask Kelly.
Yeah.
Obviously, we mentioned earlier on that it's been Hate Crime Awareness Week within Bury and across Greater Manchester as well, I think. And then in particular throughout Bury, there's been a number of hate crime awareness events. So I don't know if you've been to any of the events this week, but how important do you think that councils like Bury, for example, I suppose councils around within Greater Manchester put on awareness weeks in order to raise awareness of how to keep communities safe and things like that?
I think it's so important because we need to protect the next generation growing up. And if we're not raising awareness and putting out prevention on our to the youths, it's going to be a knock-on effect. So we need to really focus and help the kids of today. But there is a lot of help out there. On this Monday, Manchester United are doing a programme at I'm looking at my paper, at Philip High School in Whitefield, and that's around the hate knife crime week. So there is a lot going on. The violence reduction unit's doing a lot. I've not been to any yet, but there's a lot going on out there.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for answering my questions today.
Thank you for having me.
I do just want to interject as well for anybody that's watching that we have done a session on bleed boxes where it goes into more details of the physical bleed boxes themselves. This was more about Hate Crime Awareness Week and trying to raise awareness to the fact that these events are happening. So please do go and check out that. It's on our YouTube channel. But as Steph was saying, Kelly, just thank you very much for coming in and sharing your experiences today. Really appreciate you asking our questions and the work that you're doing within our local area. It's really productive. It's really good. Very impressive. So thank you.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to hopefully seeing more amazing work soon coming out of this.
Oh, yeah, I'm not stopping now. I'm going to keep going.
Absolutely. All the power to you, Kelly. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.